What is going on, guys, and welcome to the One Pride podcast on Wednesday, one time only, and we're going to talk some Detroit Lions. We're going to talk about the training camp, and we're going to talk about players, that they're doing good, they're doing bad, everything Detroit Lions. We're going to get it in at it today. We got a skeleton crew. It's just myself and Antonio Hightower. What's going on, Antonio?
What's up, guys? Great to be on here with you guys today. I guess it is. Although I've been hearing a lot of reports about the rookies I wanted doing great at training camp, and man, it is not great for me.
Now, why do you say it's not great for you?
Because I wanted Trey Smith in the 6th round, and this man is already starting for the Chiefs and dominating. 6th round. We could have got him instead of having Big B start.
Okay. Well, while he gets in there, I'm going to say what's up to the people in the chat. What is going on, Tim Monroe? What is going on, CJ? Kevin Cronin. Mark Orem says, woo! Yes, he's on a little vacation. And Patty Grimes so far is in the building. When you guys start streaming in, we will get to everything you guys want to talk about. But we want to just go ahead initially just talk about the observations from training camp today. Antonio Hightower, what is the first thing you thought of when you seen about today's training camp?
McNeil just continuing to dominate was a big thing. I heard, I know exactly because Pennicini, I heard he hasn't been practicing, so he's had to step up, and apparently McNeil's been just going crazy in the run game. I don't know how much he's been doing in terms of pass rushing, but apparently he's been killing it. And the offensive line is having a hard time stopping him.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, right now when it comes to Aleem McNeil, he is just doing phenomenal. I absolutely love it. I think this was kind of unexpected for the Lions to do this good with McNeil. I mean, a guy he's right now beating up the offensive line. He's definitely squeezing through. That's going to really put forth a fantastic result for this defensive line if we can get the pressure consistently like Aleem McNeil's doing right now in the regular season. What's going on, Madness Elite Show? Jeff, Randy Daniels, 9 Drinks. What's going on, 9 Drinks? Welcome. Yeah, I'm loving what I'm seeing from Aleem McNeil. There's some things that we can worry about when it comes to training camp, but right now, Aleem McNeil is just doing a phenomenal job, and he definitely looks to be probably the biggest steal for the Lions so far in this year's draft for us. What do you think about that?
Right now, I got to see more. I mean, I know he's been dominating the run game, but I really need to see what he does in terms of pass rushing, because that's really going to be the thing that sets him apart. I mean, one of the things I loved about his game was he was athletic, and a lot of nose tackles, you just watch them, they just kind of eat space, and while that is good, that's kind of like the baseline of what you want from your nose tackle. There's another level to that, which is disengaging from blocks, and that's one thing McNeil did a lot in college. It just showed up on his tape. I know he lost some weight. College, in the senior season, apparently he was pushing like 340, around 340, 350. Apparently now he's around 330, maybe 330, 325. I don't really want to see how he impacts the pass game, because if he can impact the pass game, he can add a pass rush to his arsenal, because he was already a dominant run guy in college. If he can add a pass rush to his arsenal, then he's going to be a complete steal, because you don't see guys that the Carolina Panthers spent top 10 pick on Derrick Brown just because of the potential he could be a pass rusher. The Buccaneers spent the 1st round pick on Vita Vea just for the potential of him being a pass rusher. Same thing with the Giants and Dexter Lawrence. If we can get a guy like that at 3rd round, I mean, another thing, Packers even did it with Kenny Clark, got him in the 1st round. If we can get a guy like that in the 3rd round, it's an absolute steal.
I'm with you, man. Absolutely a steal for sure. D. Williams in the building. What's up, D. Williams? Mark Orem says McNeil been killing it, even at the pass rush. Yes, absolutely. Jeff says any wide receivers stepping up as the number 1. We will definitely get to the wide receivers, Jeff, here soon and talk about that. Let's talk also about the linebackers. Who is standing out for you? We got Anthony Pittman, who's had 2 good days of training camp. Okay, a guy that no one really considered even making this roster. What do you think about him? Does he have potential for this Lions defense?
He definitely has potential. I heard he was doing really good in coverage. I think it was today. I heard that he had a little bit of a down day compared to because he was killing it the first couple of days. Apparently, he had a down day kind of today. But he's had a pretty great camp, and Maben. I don't think Maben's been out there, and other than Jamie Collins, I don't know who else we got really to impact the pass coverage because Tavai's not going to give you anything as a pass in terms of pass coverage. Neither is Barnes in terms of pass coverage. So we need a linebacker, especially a young linebacker, who can step up and be that guy in the pass. I know Collins can cover. I've seen Maben do it, but other than those two, I don't really have confidence in anybody else. So Pittman, the signs that he has been showing is great for the future of this defense.
Absolutely, man. I love what I'm seeing from Pittman. There's concerns, obviously, to say Pittman would be a disaster for the Detroit Lions. I see it a little bit different. I see that last year was a disaster at the linebacking core, and if you can get somebody that comes out of nowhere to help out, I love that idea because, we've seen what happened last year, so we need to have somebody step up. I don't care who it is, but somebody, please step up. Another training camp individual that's been doing very good and doing a quality job is Mike Ford, the nickel cornerback. We initially thought that Corn Elder, by signing him as a free agent, he would be our starting nickel, but Mike Ford's really taken a good job and taking the reins of this position. What do you think about Mike Ford and his progress so far?
This is kind of the one thing I hoped would happen was Mike Ford taking a step forward because not only is he the younger guy, he has more physical upside. Mike Ford is a very talented corner, and he's made this roster for a few years. He hasn't really been a starter, but he's kind of been a replacement guy. There's a few times we had to step in. I still remember the Eagles game, like last year? Was it last year? I think it was last year when Slay got injured. They tried to go after Ford and it just wasn't working. Ford he's been getting into the game and proven to be a solid corner. Now he's been moved to more of a slot guy. I was hoping he would take the job from Cornelder, and he did. I think I read that only time Cornelder really was getting in is when they just wanted to give him some snaps. It wasn't even from Ford not playing well. It was just like we just want to give this guy some snaps. That's how well Ford was playing, and then I'm just glad he's finally taking this step because he could really. This secondary doesn't really have a guy. And I don't know if Ford can be that guy, but if he could just be a good player or even just a solid player, that'll be beneficial because we don't even have many of those right now.
Yeah, absolutely, man. If we can just get a solid guy that does what we need him to do, that's perfectly fine. Matter of fact, this secondary is looking fairly good right now. What do you think about the emergence of Jeffrey Okuda? And he's definitely doing a much better job so far this year compared to last year.
Yeah, I kind of expected that. Even last year, I expected some struggles. I kind of called it. I was like, I think he would get better over the season. We didn't really get to see that much because he got injured. But a lot of people don't even talk about this. A lot of the rookie corner class last year struggled. People was giving C.J. Henderson some praise during the first 2 weeks, but after that, he was getting murdered. He was getting destroyed, especially by Devontae Parker. I was watching that game. It was horrendous. Most of the rookie corners, other than like a select few, like, Snead for the Chiefs and, Terrell for the Fins had a few, good reps. But like, for example, his teammate, I forget his name, his teammate at Ohio State selected in the first round by the Raiders. He's not even starting right now. The Raiders got him moving with the second team. A lot of the rookie corners were struggling last year. A lot of them looked bad. So I kind of just was like, okay, how are you going to look forward? Rookie corner at this point is arguably the hardest position to play in the NFL with how offenses move and how NFL rules work. So I was like, okay, how do you look this year? How do you look when you get healthy? And he's been looking great. I heard St. Brown caught like 3 passes on him in one-on-ones, but like 2 of them was really heavily contested. But, he's been playing well, and I kind of expected that, and that was the development we needed as a defense because if Okuda didn't really play well, then it would be looking real bad for the secondary.
Yeah, man, we have to have Okuda play well. You invested a high pick on him. He has the tangibles. He has to do well, and it is very good to see that is occurring. Folks, Steel Flyers, he is a new YouTuber, and he's got a website, and he's trying to start a lot of quality content on there. He can go ahead and post his website on this channel. He's a good guy. Talk to him, and eventually we're going to be doing some podcasts and talk some NFL football, so make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel, Steel Flyers. Rams House in the building. Also, we got Dwayne Deals in the building, Alexander Kumara. We got as well as Chris Caubaugh. Like I always say, when this guy's got something to say, put an extra ear on it. Randy Daniels, Steve-O, Owen Posniak, and CJ. Cy Gray, man. What's up, Cy? Yes, a day early because I am going to be at Detroit tomorrow, so I can't do it tomorrow on here, that's for sure. What is a player that you feel needs to improve, that maybe you thought they was going to do better, but so far right now, Antonio Hightower is not? What is a player that you've seen over this past week?
That feels need to improve. I haven't really heard any bad things about him, but I guess Deshaun Hand, because I feel like he's a guy who kind of has to impress right now. You know, he's his contract year. You've had a lot of injuries. You know, I've heard more stuff about Kevin Strong than I heard about Deshaun Hand. And Kevin Strong's not even started. I heard more stuff about Nick Williams than I have about Deshaun Hand. And, you know, Brockers hasn't been out there. So if you've been starting in this position, I wanted you to start over Brockers in that exact same position. I want to see what you can offer. And I haven't really heard much about Deshaun Hand. I haven't heard anything bad about him. I haven't heard any rave reviews about him the way same way I'm hearing about guys like Kevin Strong, Nick Williams, and even McNeil. So I guess he would be a guy, not that I think a guy expected kind of a little bit more out of, especially where he is in his career.
Yeah, you know, actually Deshaun Hand had a good practice today. Him and Nick Williams was getting at it. It seems like this whole defensive line is really going to be a strength of this football team, and that's absolutely fantastic. But yes, I agree. He's definitely got to prove himself and keep proving himself. Pennicini is back. We got a lot of quality players upon this defensive line, and you know, there's going to be someone good that's going to get cut upon this defensive line, and you always want to have a younger guy, so if Hand can stay healthy and continue to get better, he will make this roster. But if he can't, he gets that Austin Bryant bug, there could be a chance of him not doing it. Bill Collier in the building. Man, oh man, I haven't seen you on here in a long time. What's going on, Bill? Tony, what's up, Tony? Welcome to the chat. If I haven't shouted you out, just let me know, and I will, shout you out for sure. And also, we will be taking questions from you guys fairly shortly. Why? Because, well, it's a skeleton crew. A person who I think needs to get better and needs to improve. There's definitely some of them out there. There's definitely more than some of them, but mine is going towards the wide receiver core itself. I heard when it comes to what's been taken in camp, what's little frustrating is the lack of separation for the wide receivers. Amon-Ra, St. Brown, Cephas, they're doing a good job, but we need to see more separation from Tyrell Williams and Brashard Perryman. If you want this offense to work, you have to get open. Jared Goff needs to be able to throw a ball that's not already covered by a defensive back. You guys got to get open. You're fast. You got speed. We need to make this offense work. This offense works by play action, running the football, and making a big play. And if you can't get separation, this offense will struggle. We need Jared Goff to make these deep throws. We got to be able to pick apart the back end of the defense. He's got that ability, but it is so important that we get wide receivers that can get open. Last thing we need is a bunch of turnovers because he's forcing it. We don't need to be in third and longs here. We need to be able to get these longer pass downs complete. That's something that we've been able to do in the past, and hopefully these guys can get separation, and we can continue to do it in 2021. It's concerning to me, Antonio Hightower, the lack of separation we're hearing at camp. What do you think about that?
I mean, honestly, I'm not surprised. I've been saying for a while that this wide receiver core is just not it. It's not good, really. I mean, other than St. Brown. St. Brown's the only one I can actually see maybe doing something, but Williams, has been injured, and even when he wasn't that injured, he wasn't nothing amazing. Cephas at best is probably like a number 3 or a number 4, and that's pretty much the whole wide receiver core. I mean, it's TJ. Well, I just gonna really put the focus on TJ. I did hear, yeah, they haven't been creating separation, but I did hear even when the chances were there that either Goff didn't really take the chance, which either shows a lack of trust in the receivers,
Yeah.
which shows kind of a lack of trust in receivers, but also a part of game that Goff has to improve on. But also, yep, just hasn't been there. I heard he also overthrew one. Although I never expected this. I mean, the offense isn't really meant to go deep. Because I mean, a lot of people. People been telling me, they're gonna throw to Swift and they're gonna throw to Williams and they're gonna go to Hockenson. They're gonna check
Hmm.
down, and that's what they've been doing. And the deep. I mean, I'm about to say, y'all been telling me that's what he's gonna do. I'm surprised. People are surprised that that's what they are doing because I've been
Yeah.
hearing people saying that's what they were gonna do for months.
Yeah, I'm definitely not surprised that they're doing a lot of checkdowns. I'm not surprised about the lack of separation, but I have more faith in Quintez Cephas, Amon-Ra St. Brown, what they do to get open because they're doing everything. Amon-Ra St. Brown battling Jeffrey Okudah today. He got beat by Okudah one time. Amon-Ra St. Brown beat him the other time. That's good. I have a lot of faith in him. I love what Cephas is doing. I could see him getting separation and getting open. But for us to do this play action, it's got to be a Tyrell Williams and it's got to be a Brashad Perryman. And I don't have a whole lot of faith in Perryman right now. I don't. That's a little concerning to me. I feel like Tyrell Williams can do it, but Goff has got to throw the ball 100%. He's got to be able to. This is training camp. It's not counting right now, so at least attempt to get on the same page for the deep route. Alexander says, my birthday is Friday, and I'm going to the Linings training camp. So excited. Well, happy birthday, and I will see you there because I will be at training camp as well. So, hey, happy birthday. That's a great birthday present. Folks, we got 60 in the chat with 26 likes. Let's get these likes up to 50. The more likes you get, the more chance that Chat Sport don't breathe down my neck. So let's get those bad boys up there for sure. TJ Hockenson, though, he's been fabulous in training camp. Absolutely a stud. He is consistently getting open. He's the main target for Jared Goff. What is your expectations for TJ Hockenson this year?
TJ is kind of in a weird place for me because I really need to see how TJ deals with other teams and their game plans for him. Because even with TJ, especially, I guess a good example is in his rookie year when TJ went off against the Cardinals. A lot of that was because they was moving him around. They even had some reps at him, putting him in like stuff at H back and getting him matched from the linebackers like Jordan Hicks, guy that some Lions fans wanted. He was destroying them. Week 2 came around. Chargers said, "No, we're not putting no linebacker on you. We're gonna put a safety on you." And that's what I really need to see how TJ's gonna do with. How are you gonna deal with teams that put some bigger guys on you, put some safeties on you, put some bigger corners on you? Team like maybe the 49ers with Fred Warner, maybe they put Fred Warner on them. How are you gonna deal with that? Because I think the Lions probably gonna be sending a good bit of man coverage to teams because I don't know how many teams are gonna be really confident that the Lions can beat the man coverage. So I'm trying to see how does TJ deal with that. But my expectation for him, I think he'll take a next step. I think it's really his biggest step probably is going to be as a blocker. Dan Campbell, former NFL tight end coach. One thing about him and with the Saints, he always had those guys blocking. They was always blocking. A perfect example, Adam Troutman came out of tight end, 3rd-round pick out of Dayton, came to the NFL. A lot of tight ends don't really block that well their first year. A lot of tight ends struggle their first year. He came in, played amazing, blocked amazing his first year.
And I think he went down really quick. So, are you there, or did you get cut off? I hear myself.
Sorry, I dropped my phone.
Okay, go ahead, man.
So I think he's really going to take. I think the biggest step is going to be as a blocker. I really want to see how his next step is as a receiver because that's the biggest thing when it comes to bridging the gap for tight ends. It's the reason why guys like Pitts go in the first round offer as a receiver. I know he's taken a lot of snaps as a slot receiver in the past. I want to see how that's going to really progress, considering that guys like St. Brown makes his money in the slot. So my expectation of him is he going to be better. Although in order for me to see how much better he is, I got to really see him play because I think these teams are going to throw a different look at him defensively that we can't do.
When I think of TJ Hockenson, I think about a stud. This guy is lighting camp up. I think he is just a phenomenal player, and this is going to be his breakout season. I love the connection with Goff and TJ Hockenson. It's just something that I think is going to be a beautiful thing to watch this year. TJ Hockenson getting open and just manhandling these linebackers right now, manhandling pretty much anybody that gets his ways. I'm extremely ecstatic about that. Your tight end coming to his third year, that's generally when you want this player to explode. Third year with the tight end, and then Jared Goff noticing that and make sure he's targeting him. So, kudos to Goff, kudos to TJ Hockenson. This combination is going to be fun to watch through the regular season. The other combinations is the combinations of the running back. I see the question in there. A lot of good things going on with DeAndre Swift and Jamal Williams. What do you expect for this trio right here, Goff, Williams, and Swift, what they're going to do for the 2021 NFL season? Yes.
I think they're going to be really good. Oh, okay. I think they're going to be really good. I really want to see how they do in the receiving game because Swift coming out of college, arguably receiving was probably his biggest aspect. He's a good receiving running back. He's not amazing. I want to see if he can take the next step to being like maybe in like an Alvin Kamara tier. I would say Christian McCaffrey, but that's a pretty lofty expectations. But can he get into kind of like what Le'Veon Bell used to do, where he was a really good receiving back? Sometimes they split him out wide against corners. See how well he takes a step. I think it's gonna be really well. I think their stats and performance is gonna be hindered by the fact that this wide receiver core isn't that great. Because I just saw somebody in the chat said teams might just play cover 2 man against them. Because there's not really a presence of getting beat deep. There's nobody on this team that you're really scared of to create separation. And the only guy is TJ. And if I'm a team, I just throw 2 at TJ and I'll leave everybody else on the island. But dare him stack the box. Probably play some man, some blitz. I think their success is going to really hinder on how well Goff in his pass game can make defenses respect them. Because if defenses don't respect Goff in his pass game, especially going deep, then it's going to be really tough for these running backs to do anything because all teams are going to do is stack the box.
That's actually that situation you just talked about happened in camp today. Jared Goff had nobody open, so he threw it to Swift, and he got stuffed. We need to have that deep pass to open that up 100%. But my expectations for these two is sky's the limit. I think between Swift and Jamal Williams, TJ Hockenson, that's going to be the main ones. Man, I think these guys are going to have a phenomenal season. But yes, you're 100% correct. That's how the offense works. You have to be able to open this offense up, get a little bit of. You have to show that you can do a deep pass here and there. Because if they go ahead and think you're Alex Smith, they're going to only do everything short, eventually that short stuff gets stopped. So we need to be able to, every once in a while, throw a deep pass, even if it's not successful. Make the defense account for it. So the small to intermediate stuff can work out. Now, I see a conversation that's taking place in the chat. They're talking about the quarterback situation for a number 2 spot. David Blau and Tim Boyle. What do you think? Who's going to be this backup? Who in your gut do you think? Because right now in camp, it's like going back and forth. So who do you think is going to be the guy to get it?
It's tough. If the problem is this is a new coaching staff, and if this is a coaching staff that had been here for a few years, I would probably wouldn't have went with Blau because he's been here and he's been here for a few years. But that experience kind of right now with this new coaching staff doesn't mean much. I think I'm gonna go with Boyle. I think they're gonna go with Boyle. Is the guy they brought in. I think they brought him with the expectation that he would be the backup quarterback. So unless Blau does something that really separates himself from Boyle, I expect Boyle to be the backup quarterback.
Folks, you see that guy there says Blaze Radio. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe to his channel. He is one of the best commentators I've ever heard. I listen to this guy and I'm dying laughing. This guy should literally be a commentary for wrestling. I think you go ahead and take out these other guys. You put him in there. Fantastic work. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you're a YouTuber out there and you're a smaller channel, hey, let me know. We will shout your channel out here because we support all small channels. Anyone that's trying to build something and trying to go against big media or just build something for themselves, hey, we support that all on here. We always support the little guy because we are the little guy, and that's hashtag facts. Who do you guys think in the comment section is going to be the backup quarterback? B for Boyle. Let me know if you think Boyle's going to be Tim Boyle, or D for David Blau. Let's see it, and I'll definitely shout it out as I always do. So we'll see what you guys think. Now, and here we got Boyle from Mark Orem. Madness says Blau. We got Blau from 9 Drinks. We got Boyle, good though. Blau. We got Blow Sucks. We got Boyle. So this is 50-50, man. This is 50-50. So, and that's kind of what we're seeing in camp right now. Cy says Boyle. Says Boyle Owen. Boyle, so, okay. Boyle's starting to come up there. I'm with that camp, and the reason why I'm going to say this is because of the contract. I think when you pay him the contract that they paid him, it's not like it's much, but it's better than what Blau was doing. So we got, a little more for Boyles. John, Tony, and Jeff say Boyle. We got Rams House says David Blau. Okay, man. Okay, I see. So it's absolutely a fun battle that's taking place for the backup quarterback role, and it is important. It is actually 100% important. If a quarterback goes down, you got to have somebody that can hold the fort down. As Lions fans, as when Stafford, or former quarterback, went down, that is it. Real quick, talk Antonio Hightower, because I got to put my dog outside. What is the offensive line going to look like in 2021? What ranking and everything?
Personally, currently, I'd maybe rank it 11th. I seen PFF rankings, they had them ranked top 10. I would probably slide. The only team out of the top 10 I'd probably slide over them is the Eagles. I'd give the Eagles the benefit of the doubt. I know guys like Brooks was injured last year, but I still give the Eagles the benefit of the doubt for now, unless the Lions can prove otherwise. But yeah, the Lions' offensive line it's very close. It could be. I don't know if I want to say top 10, top 5. It could crack the top 5. It'd be very difficult. The Colts, Quinn Nelson. Well, if we're just talking from a this year perspective, Quinn Nelson just got injured, so he got a foot injury. So we don't know how that's really gonna affect him. But I could, depending on how guys go, I need to see how Jonah really looks. Jonah last year, up and down. He has some moments, but he also has some really bad moments. A lot of the rookie guards did. Cesar Ruiz did for the Saints. Damian Lewis had some really good moments for the Seahawks, and so did the guy for the Patriots. So rookie offensive linemen, especially last year, a lot of them struggled. So I'm gonna give him a pass for that. I need to see how he looks. If he can really hit the ground running. I already heard about the stuff about he taking the diet. If he can really hit the ground running, it's going to be really impactful with his offensive line. It's going to see it. Also, how does Sewell look? Sewell is going to be really important for this offensive line, because if Sewell can hit the ground running as like a top offensive tackle, then it's going to really boost this offensive line up. Especially because a lot of offensive line, when you really think about offensive line, a lot of these guys don't really break out. In terms of offensive line development, it's pretty linear. It doesn't really have a lot of guys who just break out in their second, third year or anything. What usually happens is a lot of older guys, sometimes they just figure it out, maybe their 4th, 5th year, or some guys who are good get put in the system around other offensive linemen just become great. So if he can really hit the ground running, especially this year, or if he can just be great at the end of this year, it's going to be very big for this offensive line in the future, because considering how offensive line go in turn development. Now, I don't know how exactly to feel about his development, because we do got to consider offensive line coach. What is his second year? Because he's the protege of our old offensive line coach, I think, retired. And I haven't really seen him develop anybody yet. When he got the job, Ragnar was already Ragnar. Mm-hmm. Decker was already Decker. How does he do with Sewell? How does he do with Jackson? That's what I really got to see.
Folks, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to Madness Elite Show. Trying to get that channel up there. Let's go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We support them for sure. Absolutely. How you doing this week, Mike? William Chadwick. I'm doing fan-freaking-tastic. The Detroit Lions offensive line, and we're going to talk about Penei Sewell, but I think this offensive line in top 10 could be a top 5 for sure once Sewell settles in. We're seeing in camp right now when it comes to Sewell he's having a very good camp right now. Obviously, though, he's not dominating like an Ndamukong Suh, but he's showing definitely why he's one of the best tackles in this last year's draft, but he's getting his rookie mistakes in right now, and that's good. That's absolutely good. He had someone blow past him today, end up being a fumble, but this is 100% expected. I think Sewell is going to be a monster. And I think when you look at the Detroit Lions, this offensive line should be cohesive probably by mid-year. It's going to be one of the best offensive lines in all of football, and Sewell is going to be the staple for that right side. We're hearing about how Halapoulivaati Vaitai is not doing that bad. Fantastic news as well. That was probably the biggest question mark for the Lions offensive line. How is he going to do? And what makes this offensive line even better, what really helps out this offensive line to take that next step, is going against our defensive line. Because our defensive line is looking mighty strong right now, and these guys battle each other day in and day out. It only helps the young Penei Sewell. It only helps the young Jonah Jackson when you're going against players that's done it before and that are fairly at a high level. So I love it when you got these big guys going at it, and it's going to help out for the 2021 NFL season. Talk about an offensive lineman, Stenberg. We're not hearing a whole lot of good about Stenberg, and when Dan Campbell talked about Stenberg, it was like he has potential, but he's got to show it, and he's got to show it quick. Do you think Stenberg going to be on the team when the cuts start happening?
I think he will be. I don't think there's really that people in depth wise that really has to be kept. And so Stenberg, just because of his youth, probably falls in there. Maybe Kramer too. But there's not really other guards. I mean, other than Decker, other than the top 5, and you add in Crosby, those are really only the notable guys. So it's not like he has to beat out anybody that difficult.
For sure. I think he's actually not going to make it. I'm going to go with the fact that he's not going to make the squad. I don't know, man. That was not the highest of regard of a player when Dan Campbell talked about him. We haven't heard really anything positive from him yet. Matter of fact, I haven't heard a whole lot of anything on Stenberg, so we'll see. I want the young guy to work out. We put a 4th-round draft pick on him. You want these young guys to work out. That's how you build a team, is drafting them and them actually staying on your team. What a concept. Cy Gray dropping a $2.99 super sticker. Appreciate you, Cy Gray. Man, Cy Gray is one awesome guy, and hopefully he can get back on here and we can talk some Lions football as the season is about to start. That is what it's all about, having a good time. So I appreciate you, Cy, for that super sticker. Folks, we're getting very close for you guys to run this show. It'll be a hashtag Lions, hashtag One Pride, whatever, hashtag it, and that's how I see it, and I can comment on it. That's how we do this thing. So if you want your question answered, do that, and we can get it done. What do you think is going to occur? Who is going to be the number 3 tight end, in your opinion, Antonio Hightower, while I let my dog in?
I guess I got to go with Elise Mack. I heard he's been making plays right now. There's only really 2 guaranteed guys. It's going to be Hockenson and it's going to be Fells. And I've been hearing Elise Mack's probably the guy I've heard about the most. So, yeah, he's probably the one I would have to go with to be the number 3 tight end for right now. Can't really think of anybody else who would really be in the conversation to really be the number 3 tight end.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Elise Mack. I know he had an up and down camp or up and down session today, but he's been the one talked about throughout the camp. I think he's going to be the number 3 guy. I think it's T.J. Hockenson. It's going to be obviously Darren Fells and Elise Mack. That's our 1, 2, 3 from that depth of the tight end position. But hopefully these guys can help Goff out as well. Let's talk about Jared Goff. Let's get right into it, man. What are you seeing right now that you like in Jared Goff in camp, and what are you not seeing that you don't like? And is he right now better when you hear what he's doing at camp? And I want everyone in there to answer as well. When we traded for Jared Goff, not a lot of people liked it. How do you feel now after 7 days of training camp? How do you feel now compared to when we traded for him?
I feel pretty much the same about Goff. When we got Goff, I wasn't jumping out my seat, but I wasn't disappointed or anything. I didn't think he was going to be that bad. The thing I really need to see with Goff is how he improves. Most likely, really just how he's going to improve as a quarterback. First of all, I need to see how good he will be, because one of the biggest things about him with the Rams was everybody kind of knew Goff was pretty much an extension of Sean McVay. So that system, it was pretty much everything was predetermined for Goff. Pretty much everything is predetermined. And a lot of the problems with that offense came when things were off schedule and Goff had to come in to make a play that wasn't really scheduled. He kind of struggled. So I really want to see how he looks really outside that offense. See if he can maybe even reignite the deep ball. I know the receivers haven't really created separation. I want to see if Goff has the arm talent to make some throws in the touch, to make some throws to some wide receivers that are really covered. Because I think this is going to be a big year for him, partially because of this quarterback class. It's a very interesting class. People are comparing Spencer Rattler to Patrick Mahomes. I don't know if I described it that thinking, but that's quite a guy to be compared to. And there's some really other interesting guys in that draft class. And a big thing you can have is a quarterback on a cheap contract, and we're probably going to have a top pick. So we can have a pick of the litter of those guys. So Goff really needs to show that he is the franchise guy this year, because the Lions, this is going to be a year where the Lions have a lot of chances of getting that franchise guy.
Yeah, and look, yes, people's want to know, why do we have 6 tight ends? Look, they signed a lot of tight ends. We're the Chicago Bears of last year when it comes to tight ends. That's just the way it is. And then we got Hunter Bryant, who's on that. We haven't heard anything, but he's on that injury list. So I don't think he's going to make it because he's been stuck on this thing. I'm about the exact same way I felt when we traded for Jared Goff that we do now. The media portrayed this guy as a window licker, as a guy who eats crayons, that can't even open a doorknob. They labeled this guy one of the worst players of all time. Like, they've spread and destroyed this man, everything that he did. And I felt like they went way overboard. To me, he was better than that, for sure. I feel like he's a 15 to 20 quarterback. This is exactly what I expected him to be. He's very accurate when it comes to the smaller passes. But the question is the turnovers, the fumbles, and our wide receivers. That's not even his fault, lack of separation. I think he's exactly kind of what I expected. What do you guys think? Are you happy now, or are you sad now? From when we traded, I know a lot of people were really upset when we traded for Jared Goff. They said this guy is terrible. Is your expectations a little bit? We got the Rams house in here. Give me your opinion. You watched this guy play for many years. Let us know what your opinion. But I think, hey, drive-by like for you, Mike. Hey, no problem there, artist formerly known as PC Payload. Subscribe to Justin May, the rapper. Absolutely, man. Subscribe to his channel. Trying to get this bad boy going. And so I'm happy with what I'm seeing, but I want to see deeper passes taken, even if this is training camp. This is the time to make the mistakes, and you want to get it done now. So I am ready to see him go to that next step and get it done. So hopefully we can. But let's see here. Speaking of facts on facts, truth, wait until Hunter Bryant was on defense. We got, how is Flowers? Flowers actually did good today. He stepped back, blocked a pass, and that's a good sign. It seems like the transition is not as bad, I think, as a lot of people expected. But he made a good play today. Goff was ranked 19, starting quarterback last year. Stafford was 17. Yeah, that's pretty much where I would expect him to be, between 15 and 20. I mean, the issue for him is he does got to prove himself, and what sucks, the situation that he's in, is he doesn't have a plethora of offensive wide receiver weapons like we've had last year, where you have the Kenny Galladay, the Marvin Jones Jr., Danny Amendola, a great situation. But hopefully he can do the best he can do with what he got and prove the ESPNs of the world and these people that's blowing smoke, crazy smoke, up 2 points of contact a little bit down. So we got 16 on there from JT Massive. Yeah, that seems about right. Rams House has agreed. So it seems like about on the same page. What's going on, Go Lions? Welcome in there. Why is Goff not throwing the deep? Well, there's two plausible reasons for why he's not throwing the deep. Lack of separation. I heard that today. The reports, and maybe he doesn't trust the wide receivers yet. I think that's a combination of why it's not occurring, in all honesty. But if you guys got questions, let us know. It is your time to shine. You get an opportunity to ask whatever you want to ask. This show is for you. We do videos on my channel all the time, but I like to speak one-on-one and direct with the fan base. So anything you want to talk about, throw it in the comment section with a question, hashtag, and we are going to get at it and have fun. If you want to ask me personally, ask me. If you want to ask Antonio Hightower, ask Antonio Hightower. It is your time to shine. What up, Go Lions? Andrew Lunsford. Appreciate you, Andrew. Always in here. Goff's true challenge is here in Detroit. I can kind of concur about that, but I'm not talking about the city, more of the weapons. I think, actually, his adjustment here is fantastic. I feel like he's done a fabulous job adjusting to the Detroit way, and you got to have that chip on your shoulder, just like Dan Campbell's always talking about. Did Swift get hurt today? I heard he got out of practice a little bit early. Nothing serious. It's nothing major. I think they're just being precautious. I would not sweat over it at all about DeAndre Swift. And thank God right now, because if you're looking at other teams, you look right now at the Indianapolis Colts, they're getting major issues with injuries. Us, it's nothing really big deal. So don't worry about it, nothing big. What do you think about Carson Wentz's injury? I already knew it was going to happen. As soon as they traded for him, this guy's injury prone. It just is what it is. I mean, you have a guy that's never on the field. You expect him to be on the field? I wouldn't. If you're a head coach, who would you keep or cut? Okay, let's play this game. If you're a head coach, Antonio Hightower, what player would you keep and what player would you cut? Just name two players.
I'm cutting Nick Williams, and I'm gonna cut. Man, who else am I gonna cut? I'm cutting Nick Williams. I'm cutting Austin Bryant, and I'm keeping Deshaun Hand, and I'm keeping Stenberg. Just to name some bubble guys.
Okay, I like that. When it comes to me, I'm gonna keep Jerry Jacobs. I'll keep him on the football team. I like what this young man has been doing so far in camp. I love the concept of an undrafted guy making the football team, and I'm cutting Austin Bryant. I just don't think he's going to stay healthy. I know we put a higher draft pick on him. With that said, the best ability is availability, and I'm tired of seeing injuries. Yes, he came back today, but what? Over and under of 7 days him being injured again? That's kind of the way I see it. We got here from Rams House. I feel like Goff has just to take a deep shot eventually. Even though the Rams last year, he seemed to not even want to look the deep shot. Do you think he has to eventually just try? Yeah, he does. He's got to eventually try. I mean, you can't just consistently not throw deep shot. It's going to be more difficult for your running backs. It's going to be more difficult to get this offensive moving. You have to take a deep shot eventually, even if you're overthrowing it. Even if it's an incomplete pass, it is important to take that deep shot. It forces the defense to actually think that you're going to take a deep shot. I always talked about this with Matt Stafford. I would never get mad when he would do a deep shot and it would be an overthrown or incomplete because it forces the defense to adjust to that. So I always like that. You don't have to do it all the time, but you got to do it every once in a while. From Anthony Leroy, do we lose value of our draft picks if Stafford and Galladay don't play well? Not a lot of field time. Do we trade the pick for a quarterback? Good question. If Stafford, so how the Stafford deal works for the Detroit Lions and the draft pick is, what is the overall record of the Los Angeles Rams? So whatever their record is, that is the spot they'll be placed in the draft. So if they're bad, we get a higher draft pick. If they're good, we get a later draft pick. If they win the Super Bowl, we get the 32nd pick in the draft. That's how it works. So if Stafford is hurt and it hurts their team, we get whatever record their draft is. When it comes to Kenny Galladay, we're going to get a conditional draft pick. Now, I'm pretty much it's going to be a third-round conditional draft pick. It can change, but I think there is a little bit of play involved, but not that much. So that's more going to be on the contract and how it associates with that. Let's see here. We didn't cut him. He's more valuable than you think. We can get both sides of the ball. Have you seen Brown, Perryman, and Williams playing both inside and outside, or any kind of sticking to their spots? I haven't heard a whole lot about Perryman, in all honesty. Have not heard a whole lot about him. Heard him today. He made a good play. Jamal Williams playing all over the field. We're talking about running back as well as a target for Jared Goff when they're throwing the football. So he's playing, and we're not talking just screen pass. We're talking all over the field. So, yeah, that's going to be fan-freaking-tastic. Okay, thanks, Mike. I would love to see the Lions, Motor City, Dan Campbell, and Hard Knocks. Would you like to see the Detroit Lions on Hard Knocks and see Motor City Dan Campbell next year?
Man, next year, yeah, I'm gonna go with next year. Yeah, next year I would like to see it. They'd probably be the number one team I'd like to see on Hard Knocks. Um, Especially, I want to see. It's really gonna be interesting, especially they bring in a rookie quarterback. That transition will be really interesting to see. I would kind of like to see it this year with guys like Sewell and McNeil. I mean, I wouldn't want to see this less now, especially because I haven't seen Leib out there. But next year, I mean, I definitely would.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I wanted them. Yes, we didn't get Hard Knocks this year, and we get the same old Dallas Cowboys like every year. I think it's their third time doing this thing. I'd like to eventually see the Lions do it. I know it hurts because you don't want to see the in and outs when it comes to Hard Knocks. It could disrupt it, but at the same time, why not see the inner workings of the Detroit Lions? But look, I want to win football games, so if being off Hard Knocks helps us win football games, then no. But it would be fun. Let me know in the comment section why for yes and for no. Would you want the Detroit Lions on Hard Knocks next year? And we will go. We got Mark Orm. He says to the no. He said, no way, Jose. Do we have a slot receiver? Yeah, we do. We could talk about that here in a minute here. Randy Daniels, he says no. Absolutely not. Not by a long shot. Rams house. So a little bit of nose here going on regarding the Lions on Hard Knocks. Sai says, yes, I want to see it. JT says, yes, he wants to see it. Okay, so again, a mixed review here. Just doing a quick Q&A and finding out what you guys think of the poll here. Cannot compare Goff to Stafford. Goff needs a running game to succeed. What do you think? Well, you can't compare the two, but they're going to be compared. I mean, we've had Stafford for 12 years. They're going to obviously compare, but they're completely different quarterbacks in my opinion. Stafford is the gunslinger. We know that. The cowboy, throwing that ball over the places, doing the deep passes, loves it, throwing it into double coverage. Jared Goff's a little bit different. He's not going to be doing that. He's going to be more the accurate thrower, the first 10 to 15 yards. That's the type of guy he is. They're both a little bit athletic, but not too much. It's not like they're a dual threat or anything like that. And one is injury prone, broke two backs, already hurt his thumb, and the other guy hurt his thumb last year in the playoffs, but generally has not had significant injuries like a broken back. So they're two different people, but yes, there will be comparisons just because that's the name of the business. Are we going to sign anyone else to the team? Also, what are you looking forward to the most at training camp tomorrow? Tony Hightower, are we going to sign any more people to the Lions?
I don't think they're gonna sign anybody right now. Only time I'd really see them signing somebody is once. If somebody, really, I think they didn't really expect to be there. I don't really see anybody signing anybody to cuts really. And there might be a few interesting cuts. I want to see. I really, It's going to be some interesting cuts around the league, especially depending on how we cut. Like if we cut Stenberg, you might see them go for another guard. But I don't think they're going to sign anybody right now.
I'm actually starting to believe that too. I'm starting to kind of believe that concept that they're not going to do that as well. Hashtag Mike Hightower, if you're all the coach, who would you cut, Tavai or Barnes? Personally, I always thought Tavai would stride with Pittsburgh. I feel Tavai doesn't fit. I was hoping they'd go for free agent. If I had to cut between Barnes or Tavai, I'm cutting Tavai. To me, that's not even much of a question. Jelani Tavai, we've seen him. Derek Barnes, we haven't really seen him yet. So I'm taking keeping Barnes and cutting Tavai. What about you, Tonio?
Yeah, I'm taking Barnes, partially because I get him for 4 years on a cheap contract, and I already know I'm already pretty confident I know what Tavai is, and so I don't really need to see much more Tavai.
Who makes the playoffs first? Lions, Pistons, Red Wings, or Tigers? I'll go with Pistons. What do you think, Hightower?
I think I'm gonna go with Lions.
Okay. Oh wow.
And
Okay.
Yeah. And I would go with the Pistons, but man, that East is looking tough right now. Knicks they just got Kemba and Fournier. Man. And then the Bulls getting Lonzo and DeMar. That East is looking real tough right now. And especially with the Lions. NFL, we already seen how many times football is kind of unpredictable a lot of times. Even the best team don't always win. And it's 7 playoff spots now. It's kind of I could see them doing it. I could see them doing it next year, really, with the Lions. With the Pistons, I think I don't know how they do it with the current state of the East. But I think I'm going to have to go with the Lions.
Hey, hopefully the Leos do make the playoffs. I want them to make the playoffs sooner rather than later. The Great Nine Drink says, would everyone like to see Decker catch a touchdown pass again? Yes, absolutely, man. I'd love to see that touchdown pass again. Why not? Getting the big guys, get some there. Taylor Decker, he's showing you on the screen right now. He says, yeah, while he's putting his arms crossed together. We got a question here. I'm going to practice tomorrow. Once I'm there, I like to meet up if possible. I'm going to get there early, but don't get home till 3 a.m. I'll be wearing my Hockenson jersey and my Barry Hall of Fame induction hat. Just look crazy. Ask Trudy and Doc. Hey, I will be at training camp Friday morning. So if you guys are going to be there on Friday, come check me out. I will literally be wearing this jersey. It says MicroMike on there. I'll be with the fellas of ISN, and we're going to have some fun talking football and kind of seeing what is taking place with the Lions on training camp. That's what it's all about. Hashtag ISN from Cy. Trey Boston or Kenny Vaccaro? Hightower, what do you got?
Give me Trey Boston. I think Kenny Vaccaro is trash. I'm not going to lie to you. I've never understood the hype from him. Even when he was coming out of, I think it was Ohio State. Not that good with the Saints. I mean, he's kind of just a box safety, really. He's a box safety that offered just pretty much as a negative against against the pass. Give me Boston, giving me his age. The safety group needs a little bit more experience in there. Give me Boston.
Can you give me some likes? Right now we got 66 likes, 111 in the building. Smash that like button. Hey, the more likes we get, the more chance that this bad boy gets put out there, and that's how we get this thing rolling here. Guys, you're going to like this. Lakers going to be weak. They have too much power and going to cut into each other's playing time. Hey, that'd be nice. Let's see here. We got hashtag Lions from Yayo. Let's just say the Lions make the playoffs this year. Do you think media, ESPN, etc., do you think they will still disrespect the Lions? Yes. I definitely think they'll still disrespect the Lions. I swear it was 2011, and the Lions were 5-0, and the media outlet still was saying the Lions weren't going to make the playoffs. I remember this like it was yesterday. I was watching Heath from the NFL Network at that time. I don't see him too much on there anymore, saying, "Oh, the Lions are legit anything. They're a bad football team." Watching ESPN, saying that where they put their helmets, who's going to make the playoffs. It was driving me nuts. 5-0, you have a legitimate shot to make the playoffs. So, Hightower, what do you think about this? If the Lions make the playoffs, will ESPN give us respect?
No, I don't think. If you make the playoffs, ESPN definitely won't give you respect. PFL might, but ESPN definitely not.
Now, Anthony says, yes, the media will hate, but I think it's always going to be part of that. Yeah, it's always going to be a part of that. They really don't like the Lions. Still, saying the Lions had the 29th offensive line, well, that was just a crazy one. That was absolutely crazy. What's going on, Detroit Legendary Sportscast? What's going on, man? Haven't seen you in a while. I'm curious to see, Detroit Legend, what record you got the Lions this year? What record you got? 313 Savage says, what's up, Mike? One more day till the football season starts. And again, oh my God. Oh,
and again.
If you guys like watching NFL football and watch parties, the Gridiron Blitz and Troxel Sports Streams will be streaming the Hall of Fame game tomorrow night. I'm going to be in there in the comment section enjoying it, watching some football. Yeah, it's preseason, but I don't care. I love football, so make sure you go ahead and jump over there for their live streams and have a fun time. Panel! Alex Anzalone, Derek Barnes, Devonta Beckett, Jamie Collins, or none? Are you talking about as our starters? Or I'm not 100% sure on this. Let's see. Do you think Devonta Beckett makes it, the undrafted rookie linebacker? I heard a little bit about him, Antonio Hightower.
I'm gonna go with no. I don't think he's gonna make it right now. I think it depends.
I'm with you. I think that too.
Say, yeah, especially with Pittman. With Pittman's breaking out. I think it's gonna be the 4. Can't forget about Reeves Maven. He hasn't really played. He hasn't been out there, but I think he's probably gonna make the scene too.
That is interesting about Jalen Reeves-Maben. I'm actually going to drop in a video tomorrow. I'm going to be making it tonight. It will be a pre-made video, but it's going to be talking about 10 players for the Detroit Lions. 10 winners so far, training camp, and 10 losers. I think right now Jalen Reeves-Maben is going to be on that loser list because he just hasn't practiced yet. Anthony Pittman is starting to light it up. Now, I think Jalen Reeves-Maben does make the football team, but he needs to get healthy because there is some young guys out there that wants to make this team, and Devonta Beckett, one of these guys that's trying the best he can to make this roster. And I think he will probably be on the practice squad, though. I don't think he makes the 53. I think he's a practice squad guy. But honestly, I didn't give him any dues when we signed him as an undrafted rookie. I'm getting a little more dues now. So he's proven to be a little bit better than what I thought, which is awesome. I like undrafted Sage Surratt. Yes, and he made a very good play today. Sage Surratt. We'll see if he makes the football team as well. There's a lot of battling for that wide receiver spot, that number 5. I think he probably makes the practice squad. We'll see, but I like him as well. Over and under 5 wins. I say over with 6 wins. What do you guys got in the chat? Chuck says 6-10. Mark says 5-12. Push as well. What do you got, Antonio Hightower? What is the Lions' record over and under of 5 wins?
I got 3-14 for now. Yeah, I got 3-14. Yes, 3-14. Yeah, so I'm going under.
Folks, he is always the negative on the Detroit Lions. FYI, if you've never heard this guy, that's actually a positive for him to say 3 wins. This guy, he's not a believer in the season at all.
I'm almost a Chiefs fan at this point.
Oh, my, get up out of here, man. I believe either the Tigers or the Lions will make it to the playoffs, and I agree with you. I believe they will still disrespect the Lions. Yeah, 100%. I'm with you there for sure. I'd love to see the Tigers get up in there. They are a team that, look, they've been bad for a couple years, but they are a squad that can get good. So hopefully they can get back on their winning ways. Let's see here. We signed Lyles, didn't he dog the Pistons in 2018, saying Detroit was top 5 worst NBA cities to play for? I don't know about that. I'm not the biggest guy in the NBA, but that is funny if that is the case. Let's get some love to the punters. Jack Fox. You think Jack Fox is going to be a beast again this year?
He's definitely going to be a beast, especially with how much not TDs his offense is going to be scoring. Oh, yeah, he's going to kill it. Hopefully he does kill it. Hopefully crew makes those tackles real early, keep his net average up. But
yeah, man. Look,
destroy it.
Jack Fox is killing it in training camp already. Again, this guy is a beast, man. I love how this dude came out of nowhere and becomes one of the best punters in the NFL. So, hey, I love me some Jack Fox, and yeah, I think he's going to be a monster season again because he's doing it in camp. He's very consistent, like Tone is consistent with the 3 wins. MicroMike, what's going on, Loki? Do you think Golden Tate can come back? If so, could he still produce? You know, I think if he did come back, he could still produce for sure. I just don't believe he is coming back. I don't think he'll be a Detroit Lion. But if he came back, I think he definitely could produce. Not obviously to the levels we've seen him before because he's a little bit older, but he's very talented still, and I think he will sign with the squad and do decent for whoever they go to. What do you think, Tony Hightower?
Yeah, I don't think Tate really has much interest in coming back to Detroit. I don't think he really even has a reason to come back to the Lions. If anything, he would probably wait for, some of these cuts, some guys are already getting injured, wait for some of these injuries for a team that just needs a emergency wide receiver and he can come out for these contenders. I don't really see him coming back. He could probably produce, although at this point for the Lions, you don't really want to see 30 old Golden Tate produce. You want to see St. Brown and Cephas guys like that. So I don't see him coming back, and I don't even think it would be that great for the Lions if he did come back.
Detroit Legendary Sportscast says, I'll be at Ford Field Saturday for practice. Anyone else going? What time is that occurring? And is that this scrimmage game? Because from what I read, I didn't know. I thought there was a scrimmage Saturday, but then I heard there wasn't, so I'm not 100% sure. Maybe you know that. Let me know what time, if there is a scrimmage, what time. Maybe I'll stay in Detroit another day and go if that is the case, but I'm not 100% sure. But if anyone knows in the comment section if that scrimmage is happening on Saturday, because I've been to it 2 years ago, it was real fun, let me know, and maybe I'll stay another day in the D. I believe we will get 6 to 8 wins. Okay, yo. You're loving the Stafford thumb because he injured himself, if y'all don't know. He got a bruised thumb. Let's talk about this. This is crazy. Now, I was talking to, I think it was Ram's house, and we're talking about the thumb. What is up with Stafford always hitting his hand on a helmet? This dude has done that so many times. Why is he consistently doing that? His whole career.
Guys do not like Stafford.
Well, I don't know, man. It's the weirdest thing, but he does it quite a bit. Do you have a reason why it possibly could be?
The football guys do not like Matthew Stafford. That is my theory. They do not like him. It makes so much sense for the Lions. The Lions have had such bad luck. Man, they just don't like him. It is always the same thumb, man. I mean, at the end, hey, they keep hitting that thumb, Stafford. I need that draft pick to be good. I need me a new quarterback.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with this, but he does hit his thumb quite a bit on helmets. It's been something that he's done throughout his career. I don't know why. It's just the weirdest thing, man. You hear it all, like, what the frick, dude? Stop hitting your thumb, man. Could Dedrick Mills be a 3-down back? What do you think of Tony Hightower? Do you think he can be a 3-down back? I haven't heard anything about him in camp at all yet. Oh, yeah.
Yes, I don't really for now, unless he just comes out and really starts playing well. But now I don't see it.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it. It starts at 11, and from what I know, it's supposed to be just a practice. Okay, so I'm going to have to look into that a little bit. Yeah, because they do the scrimmage at Ford Field, so it's free to get in there if you don't know. Scrimmages are free to get in. You pick a seat where you sit, and you got options to pretty much sit. Now, what they do is they put the people who own season tickets at the 50-yard line. With that said, yeah, I got in there. Last time I went, I don't have season tickets, and I just sat right there at the 50-yard line and chatted it up with the players and the people there. So, yeah, it's free to go to training camp, and it's free to go to the scrimmage game at Ford Field. If you guys want to go, just go ahead and go. Does attendance at practice go? Sounds dumb, but never went. Oh, I literally just I just answered that for you. So it's nothing, no cost whatsoever. You just go in there and have a good time. Have a good time. And there's plenty of seats. You don't need to worry about not having a seat because there's not that many people that go in there. But I'm not sure how it's going to do with the pandemic. But before they have their scrimmage, and then all the players come up and they'll talk to you and sign your autographs and stuff. Fun time. I don't think you're going to be able to do the signing stuff this year due to the pandemic. Stafford thumb not going to slow him down. The guy's plays with broken back. Yeah, 100%. So, yeah, I don't think it's really going to affect him too much. It's just funny how it happens so much. I'm a season ticket holder, but they let anybody come down. Yes, they do. Hey, we got a super chat from Roger Gawardo. Hey, welcome back, Roger. I don't care if we're picking at 1 through 7 next year. Just showing we finally stable and building towards the right direction. I'm okay. Let's go, Lions. Roger, I am with you. I love the direction we're going at. Thank you for the super chat. Regardless of how this season is with wins and losses, I think this team has got the right foundation. They got the right general manager. They got the right head coach. The supporting coaching staff is phenomenal. Love Anthony Lynn. I love Deuce. I love the former players. To me, they got the foundation there. And what I want to see this year is how they play hard for their coaches. Starting from the beginning of the game to the end, I want to see these guys just play hard. That's it. Because if you can get that, if they buy in, then you can actually eventually be a good quality team down the road. Do you think we got the right foundation, Antonio Hightower?
If I had to give an answer right now, I'd say yes, but really for me, it's to be seen. I really need to see how they look this year, specifically from some of the coordinators and some of the development we've seen. I need to see, I need to see how the offensive line coach looks. I really need to see how Anthony Lynn looks. I have zero confidence in him. I know a lot of people are, confident in our defensive line coach because of Saxonville, but I really need to see how he looks because they didn't develop defensive line well at all. Jacksonville was created because of free agents they got like Malik Jackson and Calais Campbell. Guys like Dante Fowler, Taven Bryant, Xavier Chasant, do they drafted last year? They didn't develop that well. I need to see how the defensive line coach proves out. But for now, I'll give it a yes. But it's really a lot to be seen for me.
When he says that, folks, that is a good answer because he is the pessimistic Lions fan. 100%. But I think the foundation is there. I love it, man. I love the concept of former players. I love the culture that's taking place. I mean, the last regime was just terrible. Absolutely terrible. This new regime is awesome. When I seen head coach Dan Campbell doing up downs, that's what you want to see in leadership. And I love it. I love it, Roger. I truly, truly do. Yayo says, do you think Goff going to be our future quarterback? This is a really hard question for me to answer. I don't know right now. And what sucks for Jared Goff is he doesn't have all the weapons he can to really show his ability. But right now, I'm going to say it's yet to be determined. But I think we probably do eventually get another quarterback. I think we do probably draft one. I'm not saying it's going to happen next year, but I would lean 55% not, 45% yes as of right now, not because I'm saying he's going to be a phenomenal quarterback or anything like that. It's because Brad Holmes really likes him. So that's kind of what I got. What do you think, Tone, about that?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a yeah. Definitely going with a yeah. I think we're gonna get rid of Goff, and I think Here's the thing with Goff. It's really going to really depend on it. It's going to really depend on his play for this year.
Mm-hmm.
But currently, it's two things. It's a few things. This QB class is pretty interesting. We don't know how it's going to shake out yet, so it's kind of early to make any decisions on that. So he's getting paid a lot of money,
Mm-hmm.
and like I said, getting a quarterback on a rookie contract is one of the biggest advantages that a team can have in the NFL. So a
Facts.
chance at that, and we're getting the Rams' first round pick. We got ours. So even if the picks aren't high, we have the capital to move up for
Yes.
pretty much anybody we want. So we're gonna get chances to get the guy. Team around him ain't that great, so I don't know how well he's really gonna do. I think I'm gonna go with yes, because I think this gonna be. I think they're gonna get a high enough pick, and it's gonna be a guy that they really like in the draft, and they're gonna consider how much Goff counts against their cap. Next year, I think you lose like $3 million getting rid of Goff next year. So I don't know if they get rid of him next year. I think he'll probably be gone the year after that. But I think they'll get his replacement next year.
Yeah, I think he's going to be on our team for 2 years, this year and next year. But it's possible to get the replacement, and it really does depend on where we draft. If we're terrible, if we're a top 3 draft pick, you have to think they're going to take a quarterback at that point. You would have to think they were going to take a quarterback. But if we're a mid-level team and we're picking, 12, 13 in the draft, that's where it gets question marked. Are they willing to trade up to get one? Do they think that maybe he was unsuccessful with the lack of a wide receiver? But I'm leaning with 55 to 45. Roger with another super chat, and I quote, couple of coaches could have had coaching jobs, but rather came to the Lions. Yeah, absolutely. The guy from the Chicago Bears. And obviously, this is something that you want to see. They wanted to be with Dan Campbell. They wanted to be with this regime because they know what the type of man he is. And also, when you're a coach or someone in a position of power, you don't like to be micromanaged. Dan Campbell is not a micromanager whatsoever. At all. He is the opposite of micromanagement, and that is absolutely fundamental for a lot of people. Anyone in a position of power understands that the best way to be succeeding in whatever you're doing is you putting smart individuals around you and let them do their job. You don't want to be a Matt Patricia who micromanages every little thing because it results in failure. And so when you have something like a Dan Campbell, people love it and they're attracted to it. And I tell you what, the coaches like a Deuce. These coaches, if they did turn this thing around in Detroit, we eventually go to the playoffs within a couple years, they will be coveted to be a head coach, to turn this thing around. So, there's opportunity for them to really excel with their career going forward. Let's see. Mike, everyone is doubting Goff when he did do better than Stafford last 3 years. I think there's just a lot of question marks. Initially I felt like a lot of people doubted him. Now it's like, okay, we're hearing a lot of good things in camp. Is it going to be? Because such a trade for the Lions to get 2 first-round draft picks, a third-round pick, and Jared Goff, and that work out is unlike the Lions. That would be, if he works out, be one of the greatest trades of all time. And I think a lot of people has question marks, as they should, 100%. We can't just be sold and say, this is the guy. We need to see it on the field as well. We need to see these guys prove it. And they got a chance to prove it. They got a chance to show what their skill set is. Tyrell Williams got a chance to show the Raiders. Jared Goff got a great chance to show against Sean McVay. A lot of these players got chips in their shoulders, and they got their chance now, for sure. To me, don't even consider drafting a quarterback for another 2 seasons. Got to give the new system a chance to grow. Taking a quarterback before that would be foolish. Okay, so he's not on board with taking a quarterback. My thing is, if there's a franchise guy, I'd take the quarterback if you feel there's a franchise guy. Like if you think like Justin Herbert, my opinion, I wanted Justin Herbert. I wanted him instead of Jeffrey Okudah. I wanted to get Justin Herbert. I felt like he was a franchise guy. If we would have had Justin Herbert, we wouldn't even have this conversation. But it can be a crapshoot. can't be a crapshoot. So I totally get it. Let the system see if he can develop, because if he can develop and be a great player for the Lions, what a trade. What a trade. Folks, we've been on for an hour and 15 minutes. This is the time where we say adios, and I got to get everything ready for leaving to Detroit tomorrow. Detroit Legendary Sportscast, hit me on the side and see if you can find out what's going on with that practice on Saturday, the scrimmage. So if there is, maybe I will stay, and I would appreciate that. Tony Hightower, what do you got to say to the folks when we close this bad boy out?
It's great coming over you guys today, as a Lions fan. Although, man, I'm leaning real close to become the Chargers or a Chiefs fan, because I keep hearing these noise about Trey Smith dominating and Rashawn Slater dominating Joey Bosa, and I just can't take it anymore. But it's great coming in here with you guys today, and hopefully this training camp goes well, especially for Sewell, because I've been hearing a lot of good from these other rookie offensive linemen. So,
hey, I see you. I see you there. Bill Collier dropping a $5 donation. Appreciate you, Bill. He's been a subscriber of mine for a very long time. From the beginning, I remember having less than 100 subscribers. Bill and his daughter was there, and so hopefully she's doing great. Bill, appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for that donation. You are awesome. Hey, if you're there on Friday watching the Lions, come see me. That would be awesome. What's going on, Skino? Welcome. Sorry, we're about to end the show here, so if you want to rewatch it, you just go ahead and reverse from the beginning. Before you guys leave, make sure you hit that like button while we close this bad boy out. If you're watching this from not being live, smash that like button. Appreciate everybody that came out to hang out. Appreciate all the super chats, everything. And I appreciate taking your time away from whatever your life is to listen to us talk Detroit Lions, and that's what it's all about. Again, on Friday morning, I will be at Lions training camp. Come on and hang out. I'm going to talk to Detroit Legendary Sportscast to see what's going on, maybe on Saturday as well. With that said, folks, have a great weekend. Yeah, week. It's a weekend for me because I got PTO. But have a great time, and adios.